Well, here we are. It's late July, the 22nd actually, in the year 2020. And it is a gorgeous night. Just look around here. I'm in the garden. There are no bugs, no horseflies. Horseflies were pretty bad this year in June. Not terrible, but just pretty bad. And tonight, what are we doing? We are harvesting garlic. So this garlic is hardneck garlic, and it was planted last fall. It stayed in the ground all winter. Most of our ground this last winter did not freeze. It's not often that that happens, but once in a while. It was warm, the ground was warm, and we got a pretty thick blanket of snow that just kept that ground insulated all winter long. Now, the areas where the ground got compacted or where it was shoveled or plowed, well, there the cold air would do its damage to that ground. Damage isn't exactly the right word, but would do what it does to the ground, and it would freeze it. But most areas where we didn't compact the snow and we allowed that insulation to remain didn't even freeze. So it'll be interesting to see what that does with the garlic. As I understand it, garlic gets a lot of its good qualities and taste from the fact that the clove does freeze in the bulb as it's growing, as it grows a little bit in the fall and then, freezes in the winter, and that kind of helps it. We have here our little garlic patch. I'm not sure if we planted 100 or 120 or so, but I've harvested about half of it already. And as you can see in this beautiful evening sun and our long shadows here at these latitudes, I've so far sorted it into 3 different piles. So over here we've got some small ones, and this is kind of what it looks like sometimes the first year that you'll harvest garlic. It'll be only this big, and of course this one is really tiny. But garlic is a very adaptable kind of plant, and it adapts itself to your soil conditions. So what we'll do is take the largest cloves from the largest bulbs from this year's harvest and use that as seed for next year, and then generation by generation it will adapt. And then this is our mediums here, and you can see, get a load of that. Nice, respectable sized bulbs. And then here's the big ones, and really happy with this, how these turned out. So the curing process is labor intensive. We're going to hang it to cure it, and then after that clean it properly, and before you know it, we'll be using it to add some great flavor to some wonderful dishes. So we can go over here and just take a look at some of these as they come up. You can see, hopefully on the camera here, if I'm pointing it properly, they just pull right out of the ground when their soil is nice and moist like it should be. Of course, we've got really a lot of mulch here in the straw, and of course I'll put this one in the big pile. Next to it, these were planted pretty close together. Smaller one, and I might put that one in the small pile as I sort. And mostly I sort as I pull them here, mostly just so when they hang, they hang properly. If you were to put small ones with large ones, small ones just might slip through. Kind of neat there. You can see all the different organisms that are a part of this bio zone or microclimate, whatever you want to call it. Yeah, nice little worm there. And I like to just give it some good shakes here as I pull them. It'll make cleaning it easier later. Here's another one. And that's the first one actually tonight. We're actually in whacking it against the soft straw there, that it just broke clean off, so I'll set that one aside. You do keep the stalks attached as you dry it. So I'm going to keep pulling here, put that one in the small pile, and I'll come back in a second, let you see everything that we've got. Now then, folks, I'm losing my sun here pretty fast. Setting a lot earlier these days. It's about 8:30 here. And wanted to let you know that when you do let the garlic cure, that needs to be hanging out of the sun, out of sunlight, in an area that's going to get quite a bit of ventilation. Not sure what the video will look like when the sun does go down, so I want to mention now that you might be able to get some seed garlic yourself from my friends at Big Stone Garlic. That's where I've gotten it now for several years. And I think they sell not just seed garlic, but you can just buy the regular cloves for using yourself. And like I'm harvesting now, I bet they are, and another month or so they might have some ready to sell you. If you just look up Big Stone Garlic, my friends there, say hi to them. And also want to say, if I've said anything out of line about garlic, all the blame goes to me. If I've said anything good, the credit goes to them. They've taught me what little I know about garlic over the last 5-6 years now. Well, God bless you. And if there's still some sunlight left, I'll show you what we got when we're done. When you plant it in the fall, you really want to make sure that you put the straw down, the mulch down, really thick. The thicker the better. That's going to help you as you maintain moisture, and it's going to cut down on your weeding significantly. Try not to bruise the bulbs. Just knocking this dirt off. If the dirt that's on there is really moist right now, so if I were to leave it on, that would kind of hinder its ability to dry out like I want it to. Oh, that one's in the deepest. That was a nice big monster. That's one we're really proud of here on Uffda Acres. I said before that this is hardneck garlic. The specific variety I believe on these is Chesnick. We've also done the German red before and liked that one as well. I seem to recall the German red having more of a sharp, intense flavor. I think the Chesnick is a little more mild. And you know, if you would have been here in June, we would have talked about scapes. If you don't know what they are, well, I'm sure you can go out there on the internets and figure something out. Now these two were planted really too close together. Let's see what... Oh, that's nice though. Usually when they're too close together, they'll both be small, but this one's a medium and this one I'll call a small. Yeah, so got all the cloves are there in that bulb. Now there are some tricks for drying it. Of course, I can't tell you all my secrets. I gotta save a couple of those for myself. You can see just how few weeds we have here. So nice. Like to lay this mulch on at planting. I'd say 4, 5, 6 inches, 7 inches deep. Obviously it'll compact. And it has. It's starting to return to the earth itself. And that golden orb just dipped below the horizon. Skeeters are just starting to come out. And I'm about done here. You can see about how far apart the garlic was planted. I would say all of the cloves, all the seed that we planted did come up. Very thankful for that. All set. It really didn't take long. So in the pile with the large ones, I did a quick count. There are 50 bulbs here, and each bulb has, 8, 9, 10 cloves in it. I haven't counted lately. Each variety is a little different. There's probably at least 30 here in the pile of mediums, and just about 10 or so in the small. Very happy with this harvest. It was a great year. I'm not seeing so far that any of the bulbs have any kind of blight or disease. God was gracious and gave us a wonderful harvest this summer. I think my bride will be happy with what we have. This will get us through the year for a lot of savory cooking, and we'll use it medicinally. If you like garlic, you might want to try growing some of your own. Tastes pretty good. Have a great night.